So I just wanted to come on here today and just basically encourage anybody else that might be in a really difficult spot. For me, it's been a lot of personal stress, but it's also been my business for like a long time. I've been having a lot of doubts and struggles, and I guess getting into a position where I'm trying to change, I guess, the structure of my business. And so I'm trying to build out like this upcycled element. I'm trying to build out this supplies element. I'm trying to work on maybe possibly doing art kits. I'm also making things by hand, which takes a lot longer. And then on the other side, I'm still doing like the mostly vintage reselling, which I'm so passionate about. But it can feel at times like, I guess, like I'm out in public and I'm painting and I'm blindfolded and I can't see, exactly what's happening. Sometimes I'm just sort of doing, I'm experimenting, I'm playing with the colors, I'm playing with the different textures. Sometimes I might run out of paint altogether and just sort of have to figure it out. And while I'm out there, online business is a public thing, so it can feel like everybody can sort of at any time just kind of look in on what I'm doing, comment, oh, well, those colors don't go good together. Oh, well, nobody's gonna pay for that. That looks like trash. Other people might say things like, I really like how it's going so far. I can see I sort of do things like you. I have that creative energy too, so I can sort of like relate with what you're doing. But yeah, it is really hard at times. And me personally, I have to be able to sort of hear everything that's coming in, but then also sort of let it kind of go off and be able to sort of block it out to a certain degree. Because if I let every little thing affect me, I lose the ability to be able to do what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to make, whatever it is I'm painting there. It's my vision. I'm driven by what I believe in, what I feel I'm called to do. And so during times like this where I am very much struggling in a lot of ways, including financially, and I think a lot of people probably could relate with that, because when you are a small business, you go through these times of like feast or famine. Sometimes it's really good, and then sometimes it's just like completely dry. And that's sort of like running out of paint. You're like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And so I just want to encourage you, if you are going through something sort of similar, that you're definitely not the only one. I mean, for me, it's happened to me so many different times. This is probably the hardest one just because there is a lot of health things that are happening in the background. I'm not going to just sit here and tell you my problems of people I know, etc. But I'm just saying, like, it's a lot easier when things are going smooth in your personal life, and then you can focus primarily just dialing in on your business. But when things are kind of shaky with your health or shaky with your personal life, and then the business is also struggling, it can just feel like you're getting hit from all sides. So I just figured I would share a few things that I do when I am in these times, since it is on my mind right now. So a lot of the things I do when I'm in these spots are the things that, like the things you don't want to do, but you need to do. So the things that aren't so fun are typically the things that are going to help make me feel a little bit better, because they're those things that I've kind of been putting off and that weighs on me, and so that kind of adds to the overwhelmed feeling. So just getting in there working through my inventory. That's one of the things that I put off. I don't enjoy it. It feels overwhelming. It feels tedious. Anything tedious I struggle with. So I have been staying on top of my bookkeeping this year, but that was like the thing from last year that I really put off. And this year it seems to be inventory. So just having it clearly sorted and organized. It's like in a very loosely organized system. I thankfully have not lost anything this year, but I want to get it sorted out before the busy season, and hoping and praying there is a busy season for me this year, like I typically have, starting in August and going through January. Next is I'm giving myself a challenge to do these physical therapy exercises that are very important for my like physical health and well-being, but again, they're very tedious. It takes about an hour every morning, or at whatever point I decide to do it. I find it's easy just to get it over with the morning, but sometimes I do it like a little bit later. Doing that and increasing the amount of water I'm drinking, increasing the amount of protein I'm eating. These are the things that I'm personally focused on because they help me to think more clearly, to have more energy, and just to be in a better like mental headspace. You probably already know what I'm going to say, but one of the things that I do that is most powerful and always has been for me, I'm very spiritual. I pray. And now I'm adding on the silent element, so building out silent times in my day where I can be open to my higher power trying to actually give me guidance, give me inner strength, give me encouragement, lift me up, help me to feel at peace and a sense of calm, a sense of relief. So this is very important during times like this, because otherwise I can easily just spiral down into my self-destructive behaviors, which in my sobriety tend to be overconsumption. So over shopping, even though I'm not shopping retail, I overconsume with thrifting. So that's kind of a toxic behavior because it's easy to justify because I can say it's for my business, but overconsumption is overconsumption. And if I'm buying more than I'm listing, more than I'm selling, it's an unhealthy amount. Another one is I tend to eat my feelings, which I didn't really know I did that until I got sober, and that became like a thing that I struggle with. And then the other one is putting off physical movement, just feeling like, oh, I just want to sit and do my computer work instead of get up and do a workout sort of thing. So those are the behaviors that I have to fight against. If you stayed until the last one, you're probably going to actually like this one. It's what I call taking a mental health day. So it doesn't mean that I don't do any work that day. It just means I have a really cool, chill boss that actually cares about my mental health and my overall well-being, which, my boss on a day-to-day basis can tend to lean a little bit towards the controlling, overbearing type that's talking trash if I don't do something.
I do not want you to pull this amateur bullcrap, all right? I'm a professional. Do you hear me?
So I'm just saying, I tend to be really hard on myself and have really high expectations on a day-to-day basis. So giving myself this kind of I have room to breathe, today I'm going to be easy on myself. I'm going to give myself, the freedom to sort of, just the other day I took one of these because in the morning I basically lost it on my husband and he really wasn't doing anything. It was just everything built up and I just kind of blew up, Anyway, so then I knew, okay, this is all me, it's spilling out onto him. I need to reset myself, mentally. So a mental health day for me, it means okay, I need to go out and get in nature, or I need to decompress, do something to decompress. Maybe I want to watch like a YouTube DIY, like learn a new skill, something that I've been wanting to do, and then also take the time to like actually practice what I just learned. Another thing that I will do is I'll listen to music. I will sing. Like, I'll just put in my headphones, I'll sing, I'll dance. Every single time I feel better when I do that. And is it kind of ridiculous to do this when I should be working? Yeah, but that's the point. It's like that's the point of a mental health day. It's like a half day, you know. You work half the day, you do the other half, whatever the fuck you want to do, you know, whatever is going to bring me back to feeling better, you know. Something also that helps me when I'm in this sort of one of these, I just almost call it like a slump or something, like I'm in a low spot, but I believe I'm going to get out of it. And it's like, let's go back to the reference of the painting. As I'm painting and everybody is saying all these things about what I'm doing, I still believe in what I'm doing. I don't lose that belief. Sometimes I sort of doubt it, but I never fully lose it. And so that gives me what I need to keep going. I also try to remind myself of where I started. I mean, I was completely strung out, addicted to drugs, totally dependent on drugs. And I came through that only to realize I was also an alcoholic, only to realize I also was bipolar, unmedicated, also to realize I have a few other chronic health conditions. But the point is, and those chronic health conditions are what sort of mess with me sometimes to this day. But if I can keep going, I know that I will make it where I'm going. I'll make it where I'm meant to go. But if I just sit and I stew in the misery, you know, it's not going to serve me. It's not going to serve anyone else. So yeah, I was on my basement floor crying the other day, and that's okay. You know, feel how I feel and kind of let it out and then move through it. But I can't let it completely engulf me and take me over and like not fight back when I'm feeling in these down ways. And I hope that you have it in you to not just cave into whatever it is that's holding you down, or whoever it is that's trying to hold you down, that you know that you have in you everything you need to get through. And you're not the only one. I go through it a lot. I'm sure so many other people do. I just think a lot of times we don't talk about it because we feel like we're just going to be putting our stuff on other people. But sometimes, you know, it's okay to talk about it because something shared, it does a little something to lighten the burden of it. That's what my experience has proved time and time again. And I hope that something I've said maybe helps somebody out there in some way. And if not, that's okay too. Maybe I just need to talk to you. And thank you for being there. And thank you for your encouragement and your support, because I hear what you say too. And I don't block you out. I just don't always have it in me to reply, you know? So, and I also do forget. I'll like read and then I'll forget to go back to it. It's definitely not personal. So anyway, I have a lot of projects I'm doing, but today it's mostly just like cleaning and taking photos. And I'm sure you don't want to see that. So, yeah. So thanks for listening. I'll see you soon.